Mr. Fix will fix you up with promises of enlightenment. He closes your mind and fills your soul, alters your mind on an altar, burning your brain for incense, and you're happy now, and you're happy now, going down to the ground. Oh yeah, you follow him, you don't know where it ends. I can tell he don't know who it is. And you're happy now, and you're happy now. That was a psychedelic song, and it's kind of interesting because it's very complicated, but a lot of it is only on that one B or B7th chord, complicated, I guess, by a lot of the textures over it. So it's hard to know if I exactly got the melody right on my first try, but it's always fun learning the bits of the songs of my guests, and my guest today has possibly the best name of any guest I've had so far, Les Ismore. Now, sadly, that is not his real name, but it's a wonderful stage name. And Les is someone who writes a lot of psychedelic music. And I've seen him a bunch of times at the open mics of Montreal. And while I can't say I'd heard a lot of these songs before, I actually best remembered him playing a cover of I Am the Walrus at one of my favorite open mics. He has a prolific catalog. He apparently was building this catalog up for years and finally decided in 2017 to put a bunch of it out. And then in 2019, he came out with a new record called Dead Rock Stars and Folk Poets. And now he has another one called Supernova Heart. So looking forward to talking to Les in lieu of this recent psychedelic release. So today I'm joined by a man who has one of the best stage names of them all, Les Ismore. Les, how long have you been using that name? Did it always occur to you?
Oh, I was given that name very long time ago, and I really don't want to mention when, but it was a very long time ago. And I kept the name because I thought it was pretty catchy, and my friends were laughing at it all the time. So I said, I'll keep that as a stage name. I need something short and sweet. That sounded kind of I don't know, generic, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, no, let's say I think it's great. The other funny thing, you I guess have made it through this pandemic without having to use Zoom at all. Does that have anything to do with the life of a musician?
Well, I was spending time writing and taking care of people who were ill, and my family members and stuff like that. So I never got into the Zoom stuff. I mean, it was a big phenomenon. I heard about it, but I didn't bother with it. It seemed too time consuming mostly, and I mean, I communicated with whoever I communicated with traditionally at a cell phone or whatnot. It's like, but it's cool. Like, this is the first time I'm actually doing this type of an interview, and it's with you, which I've known you for years, so it's really awesome.
Yeah, no, happy to do it. I tried to be a bit old school, if you can call it that, by trying to use Skype instead. I didn't want to just use the latest video technology, but it just works easier for video recording. So here we are. So now let's get into some of the music stuff. I see looking at your Bandcamp page, you have a pretty huge discography, and a lot of it came out all at once in May 2017. So you have all these great titled albums with great illustrations: Sour Grapes, Black Egg, Face Off, Slime Rose, Guitar Bondage, and Wings of Spring. So how did all that creativity come out at once?
Well, those songs were sitting around on a shelf, and I decided I wanted to get them out, and I spent like an evening just getting them all done one after the other and putting them out in some sort of a form and shape and an order, just so that they're available for people to listen to, or possibly if they want to cover it in the future, And I just want to leave like a little legacy of my personal whatever music stuff I've done over the years, and I felt it was quite shameful to leave it all hidden, and I put it out with all the bumps and bruises on it anyway. I just felt it was important for me to at least leave it for somebody to listen to, you know. um that's how I felt about it as a songwriter. The whole point of writing songs is to offer it to people to listen to. Like I'm not, you know, I'm not charging any money to listen to it. You go listen to it, you want to buy it, go ahead. You know, it's fine. You know, or you just want to listen to it, or the people can't afford it, or they don't want to buy it, whatever. I don't care. I want it out there for people to enjoy and have fun with. You know, if
Yeah,
they
well,
can.
I was reading what you said. I can't, it was either on your Bandcamp or on your website that you had this huge back catalog for years. In my case, just being a student, I came up with, about 5 albums worth of material that I never got to record. In your case, was it you were recording all along, or you just never got to publish it, or really, even through the years, you just never got a chance to sit down in a studio or home studio or for whatever and press all your ideas?
Yeah, this was wow, that's a weird question for me to answer. You know, the way I live my life, I come up with ideas and I record them on whatever medium I have at the time. I return to them and I try to fine tune them. And if I can fine tune them to a great degree, great. If not, I just will hold on to it and possibly just put it out anyway for people to hear and you know, listen to, enjoy it. So wow, what can I tell you, man? I just record stuff, and it could be at any time of day or night. So uh sometimes creativity comes at the strangest moments when you're doing the most unlikely things. You could be walking or, you know, going for a piss or something. You're going to hear something in your mind, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
like you got to stop what you're doing and get it down on some sort of medium so that you could refer to it after, because notation will not do it for you. You have to hear the nuance of the idea, the seed in its purity, you know, and then refine from there, you know.
right.
Like
Well,
a sculpture, right? You get a
it's
blob and you make a sculpture like the one in front of you there. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. You hear that, Beethoven? But I I got back in touch with you around the time where I was listening to a whole bunch of Beatles CDs, and the new track, the opening track on your new album, Supernova Heart, the song Mr. Fix. It reminds me a lot of the Beatles at their most psychedelic. She said. Most of all, what can you tell me about the development of your sound and that song in particular?
Okay, that was an ancient tune I pulled out there. I recorded that with a little Fostex, I don't know, X15 on a cassette recorder a long bloody time ago when I was a Concordia student. And yeah, that was like a psychedelic song for sure it was. I mean, you know, those psilocybe adventures, you know what I mean? And I just like you know, I just put the stuff down, and that actually came out like a channeled piece in one shot. Actually, that song, I recorded the whole thing in one shot without any pre-planned thing. I had some lyrics, and I just blasted through the song with all the chord structure and the changes. Pretty much redone it without modifying it too much. And that song been sitting for years, and I thought, shit, I got to do that song, man. That's like that's pretty. If I remember this song for so many years after, there's something with it. So I did it. You know, I redid it. I
Yeah.
added. I just recorded and added another guitar track to it because I at that time I was pretty sloppy. You know what I mean? When I was recording stuff, I had ideas. The ideas part wasn't the problem. It's just the execution was not quite there. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, so with a song like that, should people search for meaning? Like when I hear Mr. Fix, I just think of the Richard Scarry character. But who, if anything, or what are you talking about?
Okay, those are Mr. Fix about false gurus that people follow, you know, and they offer enlightenment, and basically they're just trying to tap into your wallet and basically invade your mind and take over you. You know what I mean? It's like some sort of virus or some freaking fungal infection of your brain. You know, these the cultic nasty figures, you know what I mean? With all these promises and smiles and stuff, and turn you into a bloody slave, you know what I mean? That's what that's really about.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm certainly getting that John Lennon, "Give Me Some Truth" energy from you. I've been lucky that I've mostly avoided those people, I think. Uh,
Good.
yeah. Uh, that said, a lot of my own songwriting is simpler, it's folkier, and I think it's because I hear it in my head and there's an idea I want to say or a phrase, and then my mind just instantly writes the simplest chords to go with it. Whereas, your songs, they sound experimental, there's a lot of texture. So, is there usually an idea like with Mr. Fix at the center of them, or are you more of a music first guy and then the lyrics can mean something on top of that if you want them to?
Well, folky, I am also in a sense that I'll pick up an acoustic guitar, and when I got this little fragment in my head, I'm gonna jam it out on an acoustic or whatever's around me at the time. I keep a lot of guitars around of all kinds of sorts and shapes and sounds and pickups and woods and all kinds of stuff there. And I use that, as a means to communicate, like sort of like taking a metro. You know what I mean? You got to use a tool, to get from A to B. So I use mostly acoustics because acoustic vibrates on my chest cavity. So I feel like my antenna, which is trying to channel music, is actually connecting with my instrument better through the vibration of the body of the acoustic. So I feel like more in one with my instrument, which becomes a part of my body. You know what I mean? And through that, with my fingers and the channeling of the idea, I match the emotional energy kind of sometimes it's geometric patterns, and I hear it and I have to convert into human language and stuff and notes. And then when I'm able to do that properly, then I hit record and I'll run like 10 minutes or 15 minutes at a time. And then I'll go back and I'll start chiseling away at the stuff until I get like, pieces that actually make sense as I'm trying to like filter through all this like stuff coming through at my head. It's like a radio station here. You're spinning through the channels and you're you know what I mean? Till you get something going, right? And then, that's how I do my songs. And
Yeah.
sometimes I hear the vocal line and sometimes I hear a guitar hook or a bass line, and I go from there.
Right. I guess one of the disadvantage to, putting out so much music at once, is that maybe unless you're super famous and on the air all the time, the world doesn't get a chance to really process all the songs as individual pieces. I think about that with my own music. I put out 4 different releases over the course of the pandemic. So are there 3, 5 less is more songs that are particular favorites to you that you want people to listen to and think about?
Oh, wow. Okay. One of them would be like the Minefields, and the Minefields would be one that is more recent. Um, One-sided love, I guess that's pretty much a universal concept where you're emotionally involved with somebody, but they're not quite there with you. You know what I mean? So you always feel like there's a loss of energy and a kind of a void because of it. I think people could relate to that one without, getting all psychedelicized. You know what I mean? Like just like tuning in, like a person, who's just doing their day. What else? Mother Chicken's another one there. I haven't really recorded it as a thing. It's so available on the live video stuff. The Mother
Right. I,
Chickens.
I think I remember you playing that at the Yellow Door.
Yes, I did. I did. Yes. The reason why I kept that song in the repertoire is because I had such a positive response from people from it, and they enjoyed it. So I decided I better just hold on to that and keep it going. I might do another version of it that I'll release in the future, but right now it's just available as live little things here and there, with a band or a solo. Yeah, that's another song about being a cog in the wheel or whatnot. You know what I mean? The machine, being part of the machine and being consumed and shat out and whatnot. You know what I mean? By the powers that be.
Absolutely. Well, Les, this has been great. Are you able to share a song?
Oh, sure, man. It'd be a great pleasure. Maybe we'll do the Mother Chicken one, man. I
Sounds like fun.
don't know if you can see the strat here, but
Oh, yeah, there we go.
yeah, this is my collection of guitar necks here, because I build mutant guitars for fun, and
Wow.
just give you a small idea. what's really going on in the Ismore realm here. You know what I mean? Just joking around, of course. It might be out of tune, but whatever. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. So I'll start off here. Sorry about all that weird technical shit. Mother, mother chicken, think we're going insane. Father of our creation, I think it rings in my brain. Who made them go away? Who made them go astray? Mother, mother chicken, I think we're going insane. Father of all knowledge, I think it rings in my brain. Mother, mother chicken, I said, who is the one to say? Mother, mother chicken, I said, who is the one to say? Mother, mother chicken, I said, who is the one to lay the egg down? Who is the one to lay the egg down? Who is the one to lay the egg down? Mother of all creation, I think there's someone's nest. Father of observation says it's the best in the West. Who made them go away? Who made them go astray? Mother, mother chicken, I said, who is the one to say? Mother, mother chicken, I said, who is the one to say? Mother, mother chicken, I said, who is the one to lay the egg down? Who is the one to lay the egg down? Who is the one to lay the egg down?
Very nice. Well,
Thank you.
it was a nice little blast from the past hearing that one, Les, and it will not soon be forgotten. But thank you so much for joining us today.
And thank you, Zach. It's been a great pleasure to see you and talk to you once again, man. As always, a great creative artist yourself too, man. Right on, brother.
Well, let's both keep it up. Peace and love.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Right on. Okay. Bye-bye.
So that was my conversation with Les Ismore. And a few months ago, I talked to someone we both know, Mark Narenberg. And what I love about Mark is it feels like he brings us back to the early 60s, the day of folk music meeting popular culture, meeting protest culture. And whereas Mark is that portal back to the early 60s, Les is that portal back to the late 60s. He just so naturally cues into that 60s hippie vibe, and makes music just like that, and clearly doesn't seem to run out of ideas for making music just like that. So I hope you enjoyed that interview, and I look forward to talking more about music in the future. I'm Zach Morgenstern. This is Ludwig von Beek. See you next time.